Part C. Directions. This part of the test consists of several talks, each given by a single speaker. After each of these talks, there are a number of questions. You will hear each talk and question only once, and the questions are not written out. When you have heard each question, read the 4 answer choices and select the one, A, B, C, or D, that best answers the question based on what is directly stated or on what can be inferred. Then fill in the space on your answer sheet that matches the letter of the answer that you have selected. Here is an example. You will hear,
Students, this evening we'll have a chance to observe a phenomenon that we've discussed several times in class. Tonight there will be a lunar eclipse. As we've said, when an eclipse of the moon occurs, the Earth passes between the sun and the moon. Therefore, the shadow of the Earth moves across the surface of the moon and obscures it. Because you won't be looking at the sun, it is not necessary to use the special lenses and filters that you need when observing a solar eclipse. You can observe a lunar eclipse with your unaided eye, or with a telescope, and photograph it with an ordinary camera. So if the weather's not cloudy tonight, go out and take a look at this eclipse of the moon. I'm sure you'll find it interesting.
Now, here is a sample question. You will hear, in what course is this lecture probably being given? You will read, A. Philosophy, B. Meteorology, C. Astronomy, D. Photography. The lecture concerns a lunar eclipse, a topic that would typically be discussed in an astronomy class. The choice that best answers the question, in what course is this lecture probably being given, is C. Astronomy. You should fill in C on your answer sheet. Here is another sample question. You will hear, according to the speaker, which of the following occurs during a lunar eclipse? You will read, A. The Earth's shadow moves across the moon. B. Clouds block the view of the moon. C. The moon moves between the Earth and the sun. D. The sun can be observed without special equipment. From the lecture, you learn that a lunar eclipse occurs when the Earth moves between the sun and the moon, and the shadow of the Earth passes across the moon. The choice that best answers the question, according to the speaker, which of the following occurs during a lunar eclipse, is A. The Earth's shadow moves across the moon. Don't forget, during actual exams, taking notes or writing in your test book is not permitted. Now let's begin Part C with the first talk. Questions 39 to 41. Listen to a talk given at a newspaper office.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Daily Gazette building. As I'm sure you're aware from your journalism classes, large newspapers are divided into a number of areas, all of them important to the success of the overall operation. We'll be visiting 3 important departments today. We'll begin our tour with a visit to the Circulation Department, which is responsible for distributing the paper all over the city. Then we'll move to the Editorial Department. In that department, there's the City Desk, which is responsible for gathering and reporting local news. The National Desk and the International Desk are there too, and various feature desks. Since you're probably most interested in that part of our operation, we'll be spending most of our time there, and you'll have a chance to chat with some of our reporters. Finally, we'll visit the Production Department, where the newspaper is printed. Please step this way.
Number 39. Whom is the speaker addressing? Number 40. Where will the people listening to this talk go first? Number 41. According to the speaker, what type of work is done at the city desk? Listen to part of a talk about a special student program.
Good evening. For you who don't know me, I'm Professor Mackenzie of the School of Architecture here at Hunt University. I've been involved with Semester Afloat for some years now, so I've been asked to give this introductory talk about the program. So, what is Semester Afloat? It's an educational program that is held aboard an ocean-going ship, the SS Apollo. There are 3 programs you can sign up for, one in the Eastern Mediterranean, one in the Western Mediterranean, and one in Southeast Asia. You'll have the opportunity to see some unforgettable sights. There are many social activities, and you'll make lasting friendships during the semester you spend on the ship. But tonight, I want to talk mainly about the academic program. The SS Apollo is a floating university. The faculty is recruited from the top universities in North America. There's an excellent library aboard. You'll study the history, language, art, and architecture of the countries that you visit. I myself have taught courses in historical architecture during 2 Eastern Mediterranean programs. And I can tell you, those classes are unlike any classes you can take here at Hunt or anywhere else. For example, last semester, I gave a lecture about Greek temple design one morning, and that afternoon, I took my class out to see several Greek temples for themselves. Oh, and of course, for all the classes you take, you'll receive academic credit at almost any university in the United States. Now, I have a lot more information about this program for you, but before I go on, I want to introduce 2 students who took part in Semester Afloat last semester, and you can ask them any questions you like.
Number 42. What aspect of the Semester Afloat program does Professor Mackenzie's talk focus on? Number 43. What did Professor Mackenzie teach during the Semester Afloat programs? Number 44. With which of these Semester Afloat programs was Professor Mackenzie associated? Number 45. What does Professor Mackenzie say about Semester Afloat classes? Number 46. Whom will Professor Mackenzie introduce to the audience next? Questions 47 to 50. Listen to a talk about Olympic speed skating.
Speed skating has been a Winter Olympic event for many years. But in recent years, conditions on the ice tracks used by speed skaters have gotten better. Until the most recent Winter Olympics, speed skating events were held outdoors. Conditions on outdoor ice tracks vary from hour to hour, depending on the weather. On indoor tracks, conditions can be controlled, giving all skaters an equal opportunity to skate at the top of their form. On indoor tracks, a constant temperature of 20 degrees Fahrenheit can be maintained. This is important because if the ice is too cold, it forms frost, slowing down the skaters, and it chips easily. If the temperature is too high, the ice begins to melt. Also, ice tracks today are made with extremely pure water. Minerals in water make ice soft, and soft ice doesn't provide enough resistance for skates. recent improvements in making and maintaining ice will almost certainly lead to new world records in speed skating in the near future.
Number 47. What aspect of speed skating does the speaker primarily discuss? Number 48. What does the speaker imply about speed skaters who competed before the most recent Winter Olympics? Number 49. According to the speaker, what happens to ice that contains too many minerals? Number 50. What prediction does the speaker make about the near future?
This is the end of Section 1, Listening Comprehension. Stop work on Section 1.